And now, here's third-generation house detective, Greg Newman.
Good afternoon and welcome to the House Detective. As you can see, we're starting things off very differently this week on the show. We've got a roundtable of brokers from our three real estate companies here on the House Detective. Sitting with me, I've got Corey Carter, the broker owner from RE/MAX Professionals. I've got Brian Draculich from Better Homes and Gardens, Draculich Realty, and I've got Elizabeth Quinn, the Senior Vice President with Dixon Realty. Guys, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for addressing this very important topic, the big settlement that's coming. Brian, why don't you get us a little started on the settlement and what is going to happen, what may happen, what really isn't happening?
Well, first off, there's been an agreed upon settlement from the National Association of Realtors. A couple of the largest real estate franchise groups already settled last year. Now this is a settlement with the National Association of Realtors that will not be finalized or is proposed to be finalized in July. We don't know all of the aspects of it yet. We know what is being required and we're prepared for that, but we don't know if it will be finalized in July or not.
Okay. And Elizabeth, you've been working with professionals around the country. Give me an idea of what you're getting as far as feedback and what you're educating them on in this whole moving forward.
Well, I think right now we're just trying to figure out the three stipulations that are going to be part of the settlement. And that is, one, the financial part of it, which would be funding the settlement fund. And then the second is the co-op in the multiple listing service. And then also buyer's representation agreements and how that all looks.
Okay. So, Corey, you just got back from the RE/MAX convention.
Yes.
RE/MAX was one of the companies that settled with this early on. What was the chatter through the convention? How is it going to change the market? Can you see any changes already?
Although it might be kind of chaotic for 6 months to a year, I think things will settle back similar to what they are now, with offers of cooperation being made.
Okay, and that's really what this is all about, is working together as a community, as a real estate community, because we all talk about, we need one another. That's the way this works. And we say all the time, you want to use a realtor. Is there a reason why you'd want to save the commission and not use a realtor?
Well, of course, Greg. It's the same thing as if I were to break my arm. Would I save the doctor's bill and try to cast it myself? Probably not.
Of course. And Brian, we chuckle at this, but the reality is a seller has got an advocate when they're selling a home. As a buyer, you want to have an advocate to make sure that all of those legalities, those I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, so on.
Absolutely. And you know, on the commercial side of the real estate business, this process has been done forever. What we're having to change to on the residential side. So I think we're going to see more of that applied, and you know, the change is afoot, but we will make it.
Absolutely. Now, when it comes to buyer's agreements, you've been a big advocate of this for a long time, Elizabeth. What does a buyer's agreement mean? What does it look like moving forward?
I actually think this is one of the biggest positives that we're going to see going forward, is to be able to have the opportunity to sit the buyer down, vet the buyer, pre-qualify the buyer, explain the process, the contingencies within the contract, and explain the value of a buyer's agent and also the expectations on both sides moving forward.
And those expectations, whether it be time, timelines,
energy.
Hey, I'm not available on a Sunday night, or
Yep.
or
safety,
or the finances that go along with it as well. This is all part of what will be in that new agreement moving forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think let's finish this up. That once again, we go back to the headlines of talking about how this is going to completely up in the market. Brian, you've said when we chat off camera, it's just not a reality. The reality is we're going to continue to work together, and there is an exchange, and that's how the industry works.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, there is going to be a change on how we do business. I think it's going to raise the professionalism in our business. I'm excited about that. But, you know, there has to be cooperation with all the agents out there to take care of the buyers and sellers, and that's important.
It is important, guys. This was important. Thank you very much for coming in. We really appreciate the time.
thank you.
Thanks for having us.
We want to thank you for kicking off the show this way. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to sit down with the agents from Dixon Realty, our featured real estate company of the week, here on The House Detective.